Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character extruder by me. So let's get into it. Child. Child was very teasing. And also, he loved seeing every reaction you had. Even if it was anger, or you pouting, just anything you had to offer. He was so ready to take. And he was ready to offer in return, of course. So when he saw you staring at him that day, after he was done working out, he knew you were staring for a reason, and you could tell exactly what that reason was. He was an idiot. He knew how to play his cards right. So he kept waiting and waiting, until he knew you wouldn't be able to resist. And then he went up to you. Moyan, do you want me to take off my shirt? What? Where's that coming from? You say, blushing, and he just smirks, telling you that he's seen you staring all day. And nervously, you agree. He knew you would. So he takes it off. And you honestly, oh goodness, it was too much. You can't stop yourself from staring at his abs. They were too good, too refined, and too perfect. And before you knew it, you were feeling them up, complimenting them, while he just smiled and watched you, giving you a soft kiss on the cheek, and telling you you're so cute for being so shy. And next time you wanted to touch, you could just ask. He was shameless, to be honest. And as long as he got something from you, such as your compliments, touches, or even kisses, then he was more than ready to offer anything else in return. Honestly, it wasn't that hard. And after you pepper a few kisses on his chest, he decides that being shirtless wasn't that bad. He'd rather be shirtless in Snejanaya. If you do this to him every day, call him crazy. Honestly, he is. But only for you. He's a loyal man, and a very loving one at that. Scaramouche. Now, Scara, he didn't really expect him to have any abs. I mean, no one does. He looks like a child at first. But of course, you learned about him being a harbinger, so he must be training. And therefore, he has to have some muscles at least, as invisible as they might be. And when he took off his shirt one day to go swimming with you, he didn't really expect anything underneath. He didn't expect those abs. And as hidden as they were there, and you could see them. So, if you could see them, then you were going to stare at them. It was law, apparently, because that's what your eyes seem to do no matter how many times you try to divert their attention away. He was just so good looking, so beautiful and gorgeous that you couldn't help but stare. And eventually he just caught you staring, and then smirked. And cutting off your little entertainment short. So now you had to make your move, and he knew you'd be shy and nervous. So he went up to you with a smile, looking at you for a while, and then kissing your cheek, asking if there was anything you wanted. At first, you just said no, and were quite hesitant, and he could see it, trying to keep in a laugh. And then, his hand wandered his shirt, telling you that he could take it off if you wanted, and that made you go bright red, asking him where you got that idea from. And he just told you that you weren't being so subtle. So eventually, he just laughed, telling him that it wouldn't be such a bad idea, and he took it off for you, letting you gaze at him in all his glory. And God, was he just glorious indeed. He was everything Emma would ever wanted. More specifically, he was everything you've ever wanted, and will ever need and want. So it doesn't surprise you when he just sits on your lap and lets your hands wander. You put your hands on his chest and he melts into it, closing his eyes as you continue to trace it gently, feeling him up, memorizing every detail, even the soft scars there. Eventually, when you're done, he's a little bit clingy, wanting more of your touch, and you're more eager to go swimming with him. Kaza! Kaza wasn't very spoiled, and that meant that they had to work very hard, despite being from a very famous clan. But at the time of his birth, it was already deteriorated. Not to mention the Vision Hunt decree and being with the Matatsumi Island. That wasn't really a good look for him. So he had to run away, fight, and train. And of course, things like that leave a trail on the body. Or at least something like that. So, when he takes off his shirt one time, after spilling something on it, he caught you staring. And for a good while too. It seemed like you weren't that good at hiding it, or you weren't trying to. So after putting his new shirt on, he caught you just looking at him in a weird way, and then smiled, laughing a little. Do you want me to take it off again? You go bright red. Nervous. Kazu? What brought this on? I mean, I can see you, you know. You're not being that subtle, Mayan. And you blush. Giggling. I'm not, am I? Well, could you? You say shyly, and he just laughs warmly from inside, taking the top and sitting in front of you. And he was so tall and perfect. How could he really be existing right now in front of you when he was so good like this? Honestly, you couldn't help it. You wrapped your arms around him, leaving soft kisses on his chest and kissing his lips as well, whispering soft praises against him as you kissed him softly, telling him how amazing he was and how beautiful and strong he looked like, while he just basked in it all, smiling and blushing a little bit to your words. Being with you was felt so heavenly, and he's so glad to have a partner who so wholly wanted him and loved him like this, because it was all anyone could ever wish for.